Let us offer our consecration to the Lord. Lord, we offer up to you this day, and we ask that you listen to our words as we offer up to you our prayers, as we offer up to you our needs, as we offer up to you that which we seek to glorify your name better. Let us always be open to your grace. Let us be channels of your love, and let us always be signs of the presence of God as the ancient Jews were in the time of Babylon. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. So it is Wednesday of the third week of Lent, and we're looking at some of the readings today that are so powerful. We're looking at the first reading from Deuteronomy. And again, you can go to bible.usccb.org if you have your own Bible, or if you have a daily missal. Those kind of things can also help you to see what the readings are. And there we see that what's happening is Moses is giving the people the statutes and the ordinances that he's teaching them to know. Now, we don't hear the statutes and ordinances because that's obviously assumed to be just given to the people. So we just want to see this small part, but we also know what the statutes and ordinances are. So it's a reminder to us about these. The scenario is just before the people are going to go into the promised land. Now, where is the promised land today? It is Israel. That is the promised land. So it is, they're just about to go into the promised land. And Moses is giving them this instruction to them because Moses does not go to the promised land. Remember that. Joshua leads them in, but because of an action that Moses did, that he did what God, it's not so much God told him not to do, but he didn't do what God told him to do, that he was not allowed in the promised land. So he goes, Joshua then goes in, and Joshua leads them in. But Moses is still speaking to them at this time. And he says these powerful words that you can see, where he says for the people to hear those statutes and ordinances and to observe them because, and this is what is important, this is the wisdom of God. One of the things that it's a word that a lot of people get upset about, and I'm hearing many Catholics are turning away from this word, and I get a little nervous. Don't worry about the word. The word, by the way, is evolution. Now, there are people that disagree with Charles Darwin on evolution, obviously, and just so you know that that's what is known as biological evolution. And we as the church are open to biological evolution. Some Christians aren't. We don't need to go down that path right now because that's not the issue I'm dealing with. Because there's another form there are very many forms of evolution. And there's cultural evolution, spiritual evolution, intellectual evolution, scientific evolution. There's all kinds of evolution. Evolution is basically this growth over time and this transformation over time. So what's happening here is the Lord is giving the people this wisdom. His laws, his ordinances, his statutes are the wisdom of God. There is that famous passage I've taught you before from that old program that was on CBS that quoted, the title of the quote was from a psalm, "Your word is a lamp unto my feet." And it's obviously talking about God's wisdom. So here we are looking at God's wisdom that is there, that leads the people to know the right paths. So the statutes and ordinances are the wisdom of God. Now understand this. Remember this understanding. The Lord is giving the people the Ten Commandments and all the other ordinances. We talked about one earlier. What was it, last week? One of those ordinances is don't put an obstacle in front of a blind person. Why you have to tell someone that, I don't know. But anyway, that's one of the ordinances that comes from Leviticus. But we see that these are rules that we're called to follow so that the people will live in a just society. And why are these rules important? Not only so that they will live in a just society, but Moses says this very powerful word from Deuteronomy, from today's reading, that other nations will say this great nation is truly a wise and a discerning people. So you understand that the wisdom of the Lord is being given to the people. And remember what's going on in other cultures. In the other cultures, you have Hammurabi's Code and probably other versions of it, which are an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But here, Moses is giving an understanding of doing the will of God and being merciful to others. So everything is based on what benefits others, and it's basically what benefits the common good. So it's not about what is best for me or what is best for my country as much as what it's best for all the people all around. So someone couldn't, by the way, sell you their cloak and leave themselves without a cloak. Could not happen. It was forbidden. They could sell you their cloak, but you'd have to give it back to them at night if they needed it to stay warm. Well, obviously, there is no economic system in the modern world that would function like that. So you can see it was a whole different set of rules, but it was based on the wisdom of God. And what is the wisdom of God based on? Love of God, love of neighbor. And when we don't work through love of God, love of neighbor, then we get lost. And that's what happens. And what happens in society is we can take away love of God and love of neighbor, but we can take all these other great ideas without love, and we can build great things, but ultimately they will crumble because you need the love as the glue to hold the society together. We're going to talk more on the other side of the break. You're listening to St. Anthony Overnight from St. Anthony Parish in Allston, Massachusetts, right here on WEZE. Let other people know where you can find us, and tell them you can also find us at CatholicAudiomedia.com. Have you ever wanted to read the Bible but didn't know which readings to check out? Well, how about looking at the church's daily readings? You can find them at the website of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. Just go to bible.usccb.org and click on the date that pops up on that page. There are other options on that page as well. That is bible.usccb.org, and click on the date and you will see the daily readings for your own prayer and study of the Bible. This is a prayerful tip from St. Anthony Parish in Allston, Massachusetts. I want to call your attention to Catholic TV, which offers great faith-filled, family-friendly programming 24 hours a day. You can find your cable channel at www.getcatholictv.com, and you can watch online on the free apps or check out the YouTube channel. Daily Mass, Rosaries, the Divine Mercy Chaplet, and the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Novena are all available online and on demand. Check out CatholicTV.com. And don't forget our own website, CatholicAudiomedia.com. That's CatholicAudiomedia.com. You can check out our website, check out the archives of the show. By the way, if you want to contribute to the Catholic Appeal and you aren't connected to another parish, you can contribute to the Catholic Appeal there at CatholicAudiomedia.com, and you can attribute it to our parish only if you're not connected to another parish. If you're connected to another parish, please do not attribute it to us, because it's not fair to your own home parish. It's not fair to them. So if you are interested in contributing to the Catholic Appeal, you can do it through our website. You can also donate to our program as well if you'd like. You can see the donate tab. Or if you'd like to send us a donation, you can do it, or even drop by. And best way to contribute to our parish, you know what that is? Showing up at the 10 o'clock a.m. Mass on Sundays, because then you're part of the Mass. By the way, we need to build our liturgical team again. We're starting to, but we need altar service. Altar service does not necessarily mean children, by the way. And you can have adult altar servers, and that's basically what we have. And I don't have many, so if you'd like to be an adult altar server, we'd love to have you as well. And especially if you happen to be a college student living in the area, whatever the case may be, you can come by. Also, our liturgical, we have a few more readers, which is great, but we would love to have more readers. And, so if you're a practicing Catholic, you're living in the area, you'd like to come to Mass and like to contribute to our Mass, that's best way you can help contribute to who we are at St. Anthony Parish in Allston, Massachusetts. Just a quick, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but we just started, not only did we have adoration, but we just started Rosary, and we started Stations of the Cross for Lent, Rosary for Peace. Rosary's Tuesday nights at 6, Stations of the Cross is Monday nights at 5, Adoration Wednesday nights at 6. So we got a lot building up to bring those devotions, and we'd love to have you come along. But anyway, there we are. So we're talking about this powerful message, and we're looking at these words where we realize that God's wisdom is really, we want to look at it as the form of this powerful wisdom that the other, as Moses says, that the other nations haven't quite appreciated. Now, can we turn around and say that we need proof of that? Sure. What's going on in Eastern Europe right now? Do you think the people in Eastern Europe right now are obeying God's wisdom? They aren't. Even if they say they are, that's just offering the Lord lip service. And you remember, Jesus hates that. So there is no form of wisdom going on when there's a war. There just isn't. And anyone who's saying this is how you're going to win the war and this is how you can defeat the other people, to, in this case, Vladimir Putin, there is nothing related to that, even if the person speaking is a bishop of whatever faith you may want to determine. Even if he's saying this is how we can defeat them and this is how we can defeat, even if you disagree with their values, if you are promoting this war, there is no wisdom coming out of your mouth. That's it. Very simple. And if you believe in science, which is fine, if science, we believe in science, and you say, hey, science gave us this great weapons where we can destroy hundreds of people and buildings, there is no wisdom in that at all. Certainly not God's wisdom. There is some form of wisdom, but it's not anything that God would want anything to do with. And go back to that reading from Deuteronomy. What does that reading in Deuteronomy say? The other nations will say, where did these people get this wisdom? It's not the exact quote. I can give it to you. This great nation is truly a wise and discerning people. Nothing can be said about people who enact a war, such as we're seeing, that they are a wise and discerning people, because obviously they aren't. We'll talk more on the other side of tomorrow. Oh, I'm going the wrong way with that, and come back. We'll talk more tomorrow. Midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning here on WEZE 590 AM, and also at CatholicAudiomedia.com and other podcast platforms. Have yourself a blessed day.